It's about time the Muslims, especially the youth in the West, it's time for them to understand what should already be known, that the Kafir West, particularly the US, are enemies of Muslims.
That's one of the leading Islamic faith leaders in the United States calling for jihad. He's one of many imams who are taking a, might say, hardline stance on terrorism here in America. In fact, the Wall Street Journal just put out an op-ed highlighting Dearborn, Michigan, a piece called Detroit's Suburbs, America's Jihad Capital. And they had some examples, some proof, you might say, of influential Islamic voices there in Dearborn, Michigan, promoting terrorist ideology. For example, this imam who called for the destruction of Israel after October 7th.
They left a fire in our hearts that will burn that state until its demise.
To be clear, this is happening in America. These aren't clips of imams from other countries. In America, and in Dearborn, Michigan specifically, another faith leader praised the October 7th attacks, as well as the Hamas fighters who slaughtered babies and raped women.
That day that it took place was definitely what we call Ayyamullah, one of the days of God. It's true, the brothers who were there, they planned, they trained, they made every effort, blood, sweat, and tears.
When the Wall Street Journal article came out, the mayor of Dearborn called the article garbage, reckless, bigoted, and Islamophobic. We, of course, asked the mayor to come on. To be fair, we've asked the mayor multiple times to come on since October 7th. He's either refused or not gotten back to us. The invitation is, of course, always open. He then said he was putting out police patrols to protect the mosques and imams because the Wall Street Journal was inspiring violence. It got us thinking. What if these were right-wing leaders, you know, crazy Catholics or something, who would be advocating violence? Certainly the FBI would be involved. And actually, in this case, we don't have to wonder. We don't have to do the thought experiment, the what-if thought experiment, because the FBI already investigated Catholic leaders as domestic terrorists. A new House report from the Judiciary Committee lays out the FBI's actions, specifically a memo that describes some churchgoers, in the FBI's words, as radical traditionalist Catholics. Tracy Walder served at the CIA's Counterterrorism Center, also formerly of the FBI, and with us now. I'm wondering if I'm right to compare what these imams said to material support for terrorism, which is illegal.
I actually think you are right, Leland, and let me explain why. Because the reality is the conversation and the speech they are engaging in is hate speech. Pure and simple, full stop. It's intimidation, it's threatening, it's harassment, and it's discriminatory. And you can say something and people not agree with it. But when you are saying that you want to purify the land of swine, apes, and hypocrites, calling for the destruction of Israel, calling for jihad, that is hate speech. And so I think you're correct in comparing it because that's illegal, quite frankly.
Yeah, we're looking at some of the rallies that have been held, and they weren't pro-Palestinian rallies, they were pro-Hamas rallies. There's a difference. President Biden's response to the Wall Street Journal piece, Americans know that blaming a group of people based on the words of a small few is wrong. That's exactly what can lead to Islamophobia and anti-Arab hate, and it shouldn't happen to the residents of Dearborn or any American town. We must continue to condemn hate in all forms. I think the question would be, is that when you have people who are now being protected by the Dearborn police and idolized by the Dearborn mayor saying these things, that's very different than someone condemning what these imams are saying. I'm wondering why you think even the mayor of this town wouldn't be condemning what the imams are saying.
I think that that's a great question, and that's what I'm very concerned about. He should be condemning it because I understand we don't want to judge an entire group of people, right, by the actions of just a few. And I get all of that. But if he really wants to take a stand and stand up for his community, he needs to be condemned.
No, I get it. I want to bring this back around, right, because of the issue with the radical Catholics that were part of the FBI memo. A field office put this out of traditionalist Catholics and on and on and on. I'm wondering why in the FBI, that scene is okay, and I'm guessing if you're an FBI agent in Dearborn, Michigan, and wanted to launch an investigation into these imams, you'd listen to the President of the United States, who tells you that that's Islamophobic.
Well, I'm going to be very careful with how I talk about this because I think there are still investigations ongoing. But one of the things that I did at the CIA and at the FBI, we had operations going on in some of these mosques in Dearborn, Michigan. I think some of it just isn't there.
Fair enough. Okay, well, it's a fair point. Tracy, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.